Hello. You're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. Just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been a while, for Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's been a little bit.
But my brother couldn't visit the family during that time.
That happens sometimes.
I know. I don't get butthurt over it.
Yeah.
So he didn't get a chance to give me my Christmas present. I was smart enough just to ship it to his house because I bought it through Amazon. I'm like, it arrives on this day. If you want to open it, open it. If you want to wait until Christmas, go for it.
That works.
Funny enough, I got him a Roomba.
Nice.
So a very practical gift and all that stuff.
Are you saying his house is dirty?
He has 2 cats, so yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow, way go for the underlying passive-aggressive tones in any gift.
I'm just saying I also have cats, so 2 cats specifically. So
Tiffy, do you want a Roomba?
I technically already have one. I just haven't opened it. It's sitting in the closet in its box.
That sounds like your fault.
Oh, it's completely my fault.
Anyways, so when he came over and all that stuff, he's like, okay, Brandon, I got your gift. And as I was unwrapping, he's like, hang on. I got this for you before we knew you got us a Roomba or a practical gift. And so I was like, that clearly says this is also not a practical thing. Because you know when you give gifts, you want the same tone.
I understand that, but also I give gifts based off of my feelings.
Yes,
what they've given me.
That's one of the anxieties about gift giving. Because like, what happens if, you got me a joke gift, but then I give you your gift first and you got I gave you a very sentimental gift and you're like, oh my God, I gave him like a goofy, Brandon's short. So I gave him like platform shoes. I'm 5'8". I'm not short, but it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of anxiety. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, what did he give me? Most likely a decoration thing.
Right.
And so I opened it. He got me a katana and a legit katana. He told me, those things that those swords you could buy at the mall kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are display swords. So if you actually swing with them, they will break because they're not designed to be swung or hit things.
Right.
This is classified as a battle ready sword.
See,
and so it says basically, if I want to use this as it's sharp. I actually felt it. It's sharp. If I want to kill an intruder, I can.
See, you're going along the lines of this is not a practical gift. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here thinking this is a very practical gift for home defense. And also gives you one up on every other nerd out there because you have a real katana aside from their fake made in China katanas. And I'm saying that because I have one that says made in China on it.
I don't know where that thing was made. I don't consider this practical because if someone breaks into my home, they might not have anything and then I have one up on them. But in America,
they broke into your home.
Yes, but if they have a gun, I brought a knife to a gunfight.
Understandable.
How is that practical? That's just encouraging them to shoot me faster.
That's fair. I understand that, yeah.
That's the realism
and more often than not, there's a higher probability of someone having a gun because America.
Yeah, so instead of just pointing gun at me and tell me to get down and empty my pockets or whatever, they're going to see me with the sword and just immediately shoot because now it's their life versus mine instead of they have a gun and they could choose just to end my life. They're not going to freak out in defense, their version of defense.
Right.
So having a sword and they have a gun, it makes it more dangerous for me.
Okay.
But it is a really cool display item.
It is a really cool.
I just don't know where to put it in my house.
On a wall.
Obviously, I don't really have shelf rooms for it.
No, you need to get one of those little plaque things with the little hooks coming out of it that holds the sword.
Oh, Amazon has a bunch of sword wall mounts.
There you go. Get
for
one of those.
$10.
There you go. Get yourself one of those.
But I don't have any if I want to do that, there has to be Japanese decorations around it. It has to be a certain theme. I feel like it needs to fit. You know what I mean?
Get a really big fan.
You want to buy me a fan?
Sure.
Does the fans want to buy me a fan? But yeah, I just haven't decided where to put it, or if I do decide where to put it, I need to get other decorations and what like to get from there, and so I haven't fully decided yet.
Well, I mean, it's a plan in progress. I'm sure you could find some cool decorations to put around it to make it really fit in.
Sure, it depends. I'm probably gonna go on like Etsy and find some like posters or something like that, or some decorations.
Oh yeah, I always like going on Etsy because there's a lot of good artists on there to support.
Yeah, I usually like to go there for display stuff.
I actually might have an idea for you. I just need to look up the artist's name.
Well, that'll be after the episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully you actually remember that.
Yes.
Anyways, so I do appreciate if my brother's listening, even though he doesn't. I don't blame him. He's not into D&D like me.
Right.
So he's not going to hear that, but I do really appreciate it. It's just a weird like tonal difference between me getting him a very practical one and him giving me I consider a display one.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you feel a little bit off about that.
I mean, I would be super excited to get a sword.
Again, I am saying I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just like, it's that mode of like immediately when you get something like, oh, I need to display this. Where am I going to display it? And then you just get into a like mode of like.
Right. That loop of where do I put this? It's
the
so
interior
cool.
designer in your head. So it's like, I might not come across as like, oh, I really love it. But it's like, I'm trying to think of like, this. And now it's like a whole dedication on that. And,
I get that.
It's the centerpiece of whatever new like thing I'm going to be putting up in my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's the focal point.
Yeah.
Which is a real sword.
Yes.
That I just realized needs to be high enough on the wall to be out of reach of kids.
Yes.
If it's going in my living room.
Every placement thought I had for it was high up enough to where children cannot reach it.
It's either that or if I know kids are showing up, there's going to be a missing sword on the wall.
Yeah, there'll just be a bracket there and like, ooh, what's that for? Or you could just put,
actually, funny
have
enough,
something else that you put there.
No, funny enough, I have a replacement.
Yeah.
My brother got me a long time ago, like back in college, like 2011. Got me, you know those wooden katanas?
A boken.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
But it's more display because it's like black wood and it's clearly not that like, and it has like a dragging etching in it or something. That would be just a perfect just replacement.
I was gonna
But it is sharp at the end though.
I was gonna ask if it had golden kanji on it because that's what mine looks like. It's black with golden kanji.
Maybe. I'll see if I can find it somewhere in this house after the recording.
Okay. I'll find mine and send you a picture of it so we can compare bokens, I guess.
If I find it, you could see it in person. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be the child safer. It'll be safer, but it's still pointing at the end, so I don't know.
Still pointing, still can knock someone out, but it won't cut them in half.
Well, to be fair, if the kid is young enough and stupid enough to do something, that sword is too heavy for them.
Yeah.
So.
And admittedly, earlier you showed it to me and I tried to draw it and I actually couldn't pull it out of the sheath because I am not strong enough. So that also says something.
Oh, let me just flex here.
Yep, big strong man. So there's also that safety feature. A young child, supposedly weaker than I am, probably wouldn't be able to even get it out of the sheath.
I should just pull Kenshin.
Oh, you tie it up?
Yeah, tie it up.
There you go.
Nah.
That's a good throwback.
Because if someone did break in, or I need to threaten someone, it's not very intimidating. It's like, hang on, I got to
untie this.
Anyways, enough about that.
Yeah,
I guess we should also do our podcast.
Yep, that is what we're here for.
So we're doing regular quest board stuff?
Yep. Your average, or not average, your regularly broadcasted program quest is what I was going to say.
Wow, well, way with words. Anyways, got dice.
I got him. 20.
Wow, that's low. 20, we have not done before.
Interesting.
I will read the parentheses for this part. Insert townsfolk name here.
Yeah, I get to name somebody.
Yeah, this one actually doesn't include a name. Our beloved mushroom forager has now returned from the forest. He was last seen 4 days ago. Need help finding him or her. The
her,
parentheses is her. Them.
Them also works.
Oh, this is a simple one.
It is. So the mushroom forager has gone missing.
Okay, just I think we should start off. What is their name?
I'm looking.
She's searching. She's scavenging.
Okay, I've got one. Eloise Ferguson.
Eloise,
Eloise.
female,
That's,
woman's
I
name.
believe, a female name, yes.
Okay, you could be the residential witch,
Not a witch, just a mushroom forager.
a druid witch,
Mushroom hunter.
mushroom hunter.
No, it's actually the name of a song. It's a really good song, though.
Oh my god! Now I'm thinking about what happens if you mod Monster Hunter, but it's all fungus monsters.
I am on board for that. Did you know my favorite part about playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is literally going out and finding cool plants?
Everyone has their own thing.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of video games. You don't have to play them correctly. You just play them the way you want.
And if they give you a mini game where you get to go out and look for cool mushrooms, great. I'm excited. I'm in.
Anyways, Eloise
Eloise.
went out searching for mushrooms. Was not seen for 4 days.
4 days? They waited that long?
I think it's like, hey, if you go out foraging, you're gonna be. It's like hunters. They're gone for like a day or two and all that stuff. So it's like, oh, they haven't come back. Well, give them another day. Oh, they're not even. Maybe one more. They were just late. One more day.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're worried.
Maybe she's been gone for like a few days before, and they're like, okay, she just got caught in a storm or something and holed up in an old tree she found that was hollowed out.
And
like,
then one more day after that, like, she should be back.
Yeah, she should have been back by now.
I feel like 4 days reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially in like fancy olden times.
Yes.
We're really delaying on the fact that we have to come up with why.
Okay. So what?
I was going to jokingly just say that she ate some like shrooms that made her high and she's been just on a trip for 4 days, but she's a forager. She would know.
Yeah, she would know the difference between mushrooms. My thinking was possibly a fairy ring happened.
Okay.
Maybe she found one and she would know about fairy rings though. Would she?
Wait. I got an idea.
Okay.
It starts with an M.
Mushroom.
Yeah. It was in Baldur's Gate 3. Those in the Underdark. Those mushroom creatures. Myconids, thank you. What happens if like she was gathering them and a colony of myconids that just lives on the surface? We could homebrew say that they live on the surface.
Maybe she wandered into a cave.
Basically, I was gonna say they live on the surface and basically they grabbed her and proclaimed that you are plucking our young and our children. You're
kidnapping our children.
No, killing them because she's uprooting them.
That's true.
And or cutting them at the base. So it's like you're killing and harvesting our children, and so she's imprisoned.
Or they could call them their surface cousins.
Sure, but I'm just saying it's a homebrew version.
Right. Okay, so maybe it's a colony of myconids that has like migrated up closer to the surface, and they're just living in a cave. And she finds this cave and was like, oh, there's lots of mushrooms in here, and starts going into the cave and actually does accidentally harvest some of their babies because she sees mushrooms she's never seen before and decides to take some back for identification or something.
The only problem with us going with that is, okay, then discover cave, discover colony, either fight or negotiate with colony, free, what's her name? I forgot already. Eloise. Done?
Yeah, that is very straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really a funny twist that we could add.
That's why I was thinking fairy ring. Which, for those of you who don't know what a fairy ring is, it's a circle of mushrooms. If you step into it, you get transported into the fae.
We've done that plenty of times, though.
I know. Fae is usually a good cop-out for a D&D setting. What if she came across a mushroom she's never seen before, and in the process of investigating it, something happened, the mushroom like released its spores or something, and she got turned into a mushroom as well. So now there are 2 strange mushrooms sitting out in the forest. But like her bag is sitting on the ground next to it.
Sorry, I have a different idea.
Okay. I was just spitballing, so go for it.
When you said a strange mushroom,
okay,
it made me think of something else that might be somewhat funnier and more roleplay.
Oh, do tell.
This is a small town.
Yes.
Like, small village kind of thing.
Where everyone knows everyone's name.
Yeah. And she likes to go into the forest that's between a different village.
Okay.
There's, usually foliage and forestry and all that stuff in between villages. Somewhere in the center of it, they're going to come across Eloise just sitting with someone else. they both discovered this rare, never before seen mushroom, but that the other person is the mushroom forager of the other village, and now they're in a argument of who gets to get the new species of mushroom. So then they're being stubborn and not leaving.
They both have their hand on the mushroom, and the first one to take their hand off
they,
of the mushroom.
They argue it's like first one to take a hand off the mushroom loses the right for this mushroom, and so now it's just a stubbornness thing.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious! Actually, I love this. So It's like nothing actually happened to her. She's fine. She's probably just, eating the mushrooms that she's foraged for sustenance and stuff, and she probably had some water with her.
Competitor.
Yes.
Yeah,
which they probably are also doing the same thing. I love it. Yeah. Because they both refuse to take their hand off the mushroom. And
it was
maybe in like the time when the party finds them and starts negotiating, another party actually shows up on a quest to find the other mushroom hunter.
Oh yeah, let's totally do that.
So then it's a debate, essentially. They get to debate like who gets to take the mushroom.
What happens if like we're gonna say primary party?
Yeah.
PC party, NPC party.
Okay.
If PC party's like, we don't have time for this, just go. It's like, no, I'm really into it. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just make the other guy leave. Then the DM needs to make the NPC party's like, no, we gotta go. No, fine, we'll make her lose then.
Oh my goodness.
And so then it's like, then they have to compete with the other party of like getting the other person to lose.
And if anyone suggests cutting that mushroom in half, both mushroom foragers will freak out.
Yeah, they'll give like the coldest death stare. Just like,
we are not cutting this mushroom in half. I need the whole thing for research.
We will lose so many spores that I cannot harvest any more of these, and I can't make more.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is the name of the other spore mushroom forager? I was going to say spore forager.
I don't know how to say this name, but I like it. It's Stefan or Steven, I guess. It's
Phen.
No, it's FF.
And then Stefan.
Stefan?
Because Stephen is Steven.
Yeah, I knew that. I've never seen it with FF, but yeah, Stefan Blanchard.
Okay, so it's Stefan and Eloise are just hand on the car. Last one is the owner in just a tough out situation. Because this could easily be solved by if one of the party members has command or suggestion.
Yes, but you could also put in that the other party has something to counteract that.
Give them counterspell.
And the other party is just like, hands off our Stefan.
That's when the PC's gonna say, you just met him, but he's my Stefan.
Exactly. Hands off our Eloise, and the other party's like, hands off our Stefan. It's like they've been searching for them for so long. Like it probably took them a little while to find them. Because there's probably like a trail of like cut mushroom stalks that they had to follow or something.
Yeah, I mean...
And maybe a footprint here and there.
Depends on the DM, because I can imagine myself, if I did this, I would have a map of just, here's the village, here's the other village, here's like the forest that you went in. I want the players in real life pick a spot on the map, and I would have a predetermined spot where they currently are. And if they miss, they miss. I'm like, you couldn't find it. If they roll, then I could give them a direction, like, oh, northeast from there.
Interesting.
Where they are now.
You could.
And do that.
I don't know exactly how, but you could somehow turn it into some sort of game. Like, well, it is a game. The whole thing is a game. Life is a game.
We always play games, Stephanie.
I know, but turn it into some sort of like mini game, like tracking Eloise through the forest type situation. Make it more interesting.
It's hard to come up with stuff like that.
It is. It really is. So if you really want to just be like, oh, you searched through the forest, and due to your roll, congratulations, you found her.
You know how long it took me to figure out, like, how to incorporate being quiet for a monster of the week?
I like to think you just came up with it on the spot easily.
No, it took a long time of planning for that one.
That one was really great, though.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It takes careful thought process to come up with, like, mini games outside of the game. Or
you just Google it.
Google is not always reliable about like unique situations for you to do.
That's true.
Anyways, so the problem is this is funnier, but there's still not a lot for us to add.
Right. Well, it could be a lot of like charisma style roles and stuff, talking with the other party and convincing them, hey, hands off, our person found it first. We don't really know that, but...
Well, it's either convincing Eloise or convincing Stefan or convincing the other party
Right.
to just end this. And so that's all role play and improv in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all on the DM. I think the only thing we could possibly add is if they manage to get Eloise to have the mushroom, do we want a special reward for the party based off the mushroom?
Maybe she can point them to, or already has one in her bag, another type of mushroom that actually gives benefits. Like it's a, air quotes here, magic mushroom.
I was thinking if she got the new mushroom, then maybe a little later if they ever meet her again, or she could send a parcel to them saying, hey, thank you for allowing me to helping me discover this new mushroom and get rights to it. I found out they have X properties, and it sends some to them as a later reward.
Yeah, that could totally be it. I mean, there's already...
So that's basically the new mushroom is now discovered and is being reproduced on a small scale because village. But it gives the players a reward for actually getting Eloise to get the new mushroom as a bonus.
Right. And then, yeah, she'll send that to them. Because
what do you want those mushrooms to do? If you say wild magic, we do that way too much.
I wasn't going to say wild magic. I was going to say...
we like to go wild magic.
Gives them 1 point in any stat. Like it's a permanent single stat boost.
By 1 point?
By 1 point. Which could be enough to tip them over the edge to boost their...
a random point?
A bonus. It could be a random point.
Just roll a d6.
Actually, yeah, that'd be more fun. Yeah, so a random stat boost. Because who's gonna pass up a stat boost?
Well, it'll be hard for an NPC to say that in character of like those effects. Because I was thinking like, what happens if this mushroom when eaten, or maybe like when brewed in like into a tea, and 1 cup of that allows the person to see invisible things for like an hour. You know, something like that could be extremely handy later on. Or if you just eat it, you are able to see invisible or true sight in like for an hour and be extremely handy when they want to use it.
I was thinking
or they'll forget about it later in the campaign.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking to explain the whole stat boost thing was just like, I found out this mushroom has extremely good health boosting properties.
That makes me think of, I mean, it's up to the DM. We're just spitballing right now of different
it
ideas.
can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, we're not having canonical what this mushroom does.
No.
We're just now spitballing. That sounds like, what happens if then it makes it so you could take if you keep track of your hit dice when you level up, then it can make it maximum, or it basically increases your hit points.
Oh, yeah.
The way you phrased it makes me think of that.
Yeah. No, I was thinking it just increases one of your stats. Like gives you a boost in some aspect of your being.
I know what you mean because I know the answer, but based off the thing you said, it sounds like, it increases your hit points, which is still extremely handy.
Yes. Yeah, it could do any of the things we've suggested, really. Like, it could be made into a potion that does exactly what the party needs at a given time, like later on down the line.
What happens if it's a mushroom that you have to homebrew this? What happens if it's a mushroom that for 1 minute, if someone eats it, they turn into what the stats are for a treant, but it's a giant mushroom man instead?
That's silly.
It kind of looks like, it will look like
essentially they turn into a myconid.
Yeah, sort of. I was going to say it will look like a clicker from Last of Us, but a tree in size.
Don't understand this reference.
Okay. Do you have any other possible side effects?
I mean, it could just turn them into mushroom people. I find that hilarious, but
actually,
it could
speaking of myconids,
what's up?
What happens if Eloise sends, let's say, a party of 4, or how many ever is in the party, that many mushrooms, and if each of them take it, then they're able to speak to each other telepathically like a myconid.
That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, okay. When you said myconid, I'm like, oh wait, don't they just non-verbally talk?
But you can
it
only
allows your players to then talk out of character. It's like, oh no, we're talking to each other.
Yeah. Would that be a permanent thing, or would that be...
It'd be a nice permanent thing because it's not that big of a deal, and players automatically do the whole meta talk anyways.
Right.
So it's just like, oh yeah, you all got rings that allows you to talk telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these kind of things that
And it would
DMs
probably have
like
a certain
to do.
range on it.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, that would be super handy, actually.
But a lot of DMs allow that for their parties because
Mhm.
they already do that.
Yes.
So then it's fine and it makes it canonical.
And it would, make it a lot easier to do things. Unlike what I do with my rogue character in one of my games where I just kind of disappear and they don't know where I went. And they can't talk to me because I'm gone. Whoops. Although
Do you want to complain about it on our podcast?
we have worked out.
D&D time with Tiffany.
At least I just smack one of them on the butt before I leave to let them know that I'm headed out. That's all I've got. So just randomly they'll be in the middle of a conversation. One of them's just like, oh.
I'm hearing sexual harassment. That's all I'm hearing.
She's 3 feet tall. That's all she can reach.
You could hit the calf.
Okay, I could hit the calf.
Or
butts are more fun.
You could be an adult and talk to people, communicate with words. No, Don't go violent.
She's stealthy.
But smacking on the butt is stealthy?
Well, I'm just letting them know that I'm about to disappear on them. So
I would be, if this is me, I would be the passive aggressive, post a sticky note on their back. And they gone. It's like, oh, where did Brandon's character go? Turns around and another party's member is like, grabs it. They're gone.
If sticky notes existed in that universe, I would totally do that.
Just say fantasy sticky notes.
Fantasy sticky notes.
No, it'll be paper with a little bit of slime residue on one edge.
There you go.
That's what I would do if I had a character like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
BRB.
Yeah. Gone sneaking.
Don't look for me. Went to get milk. Be back soon.
The best part is that she's a tabaxi, so she's a cat. So went to get milk makes that funnier.
Cats aren't actually not supposed to drink milk?
No, cats are lactose intolerant, but they freaking love milk.
It's a weird thing.
I had a milkshake the other day.
To be fair, humans with lactose intolerance love cheese.
Because cheese is amazing.
Anyways, we love to end our podcast with random rants that doesn't matter. So if you put this in your campaign, let us know. What did your party do? What was the negotiation style? Or did your party just kill everyone else? Because that's always an option.
Or did you cut the mushroom in half and anger both of the mushroom foragers?
Or did your party just grab Eloise by the ankles and dragged her home because they did not care?
They're always an option. Paid to find her.
What was it?
They're only getting paid to find her.
Yeah.
Not help her.
Yeah. So I could see some players like, I don't care.
We found her. We're getting paid for this.
Yes. Let us know whatever happens down in the comments of this YouTube video or on X at QuestBoardPod or on Blue Sky at QuestBoard. If you have a posting of your own that you want us to make a quest out of, let us know on any of those platforms. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.